Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special episode, Monday night episode. Thanks for being here. Sorry for the schedule change. I appreciate it. Bear with me on that. I got Adrian Hoverter from Adrian's Captive Creations. Tonight might get a little heavy, just to let you know, in case anybody has any sensitivities or whatever the right word is. We're going to be talking about a cancer diagnosis, life with that, business with that. And it's real. It happens. And this is the story of somebody in our community. So let's get to it. Good evening. Welcome to Proper Royals. I hope that you all are doing well tonight. It's good to be here. It's a Monday night. I got, this is, life can be funny sometimes. For Christmas, my son, he likes music a little different than I do, as most teenagers and their dads differ on musical tastes. We got Charlie tickets to go see Jelly Roll and Post Malone. And that's tomorrow night. So we have a family outing to the stadium show of Jelly Roll and Post Malone tomorrow night. It is Christmas in May. He's been patient and waited for the time to come. So I had to reschedule the show. So thank you all for bearing with me. Thanks to Adrian. I got everything booked. And then I was like, oh man, I screwed it up. But we got it worked out. Here we all are together. Thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much. And if you tuned in on Tuesday hoping to see this live, well, it's still going to be a good episode. Stick around. Guarantee it. Speaking of a good episode, big announcement. Well, this isn't the big announcement. It's not that big. Okay, let me not over dramatize things. First and foremost, Proper Royals is brought to you by Palm Street. If you are interested in checking out Palm Street, buying and selling on Palm Street, there's a link down below. Go check that out, and you can get started on there buying and selling. It is live buying and selling, and they do have storefronts and other features, but the cream of the crop for Palm Street is live buying and selling. Check that out. The announcement part of it, and I'm going to tell you the story first and then lead to it. Over the past week, two separate people had told me, and then I went and checked it out myself. Two separate people had told me that the replays were getting totally ruined by YouTube ads. And I was like, well, I mean, I worked hard to get monetized, blah, blah, blah. And then I went and watched an episode, and it was like 20 extra minutes of ads. And one of the people that told me their job is driving in a company truck, and they have a cab camera. They can't be messing with their phone. They can't skip the ads. And I was like, you know what? That's not worth it. So furthermore, we have great advertising partners that, let's just be honest, they pay good money to be represented well. So what if I only take the advertising partners' money, they don't compete with ads from YouTube, and you guys get an uninterrupted live show forever? So I turned off all Google YouTube ads that interrupt the show. YouTube does make me acknowledge that they could put ads wherever they want, but I could tell you those ads I'm not getting paid for. So don't feel obligated to watch them. And if they interrupt the show, I'd still love feedback. I'd love to know where it's interrupting. If nothing else, I like to be a thorn in people's sides when I don't think that they're being, what should I say, sincere in their actions. So anyway, but all monetization and all YouTube ads are turned off. I hope it's a better viewing experience on the replay. On the if you can't catch it live, of course I want to have you live, but if you can't catch it live, I hope it's a better experience. And really, it's just the old put the customer first. Like, what's best for the customer? You guys are the consumers. You're the customers. Let's do what's best. So ad-free from the good people at companies like Palm Street, as well as the advertising partners I'll tell you about later. So it felt like a really big aha moment, and I was like, you know what? I'm free of it. I don't have to worry about it. Get rid of it. It's gone. So hopefully ad-free from here on. Thanks to everybody that came out to Eau Claire, Wisconsin at the Snake Discovery Show yesterday. I usually would have said over the weekend, but it's a Monday night show. So yesterday in Eau Claire, a really, really good turnout, really big turnout. Lots of families and kids. Holy cow. There was a lot of kids. It was a day of can we pet your snake kind of day. But there were buyers in there. And actually the biggest sale of the day was a dad and his 3 kids that were looking for not their first, but their second ball python. And it's pretty cool. It was a good sale. It was a good family. Forget the numbers and the sale for a minute, just the excitement of the kids. They were just pumped, and they just bought a cool looking snake, like a snake I really thought would go to a breeder. They bought a female super gravel pastel Enchi. Cool looking snake. At the end of the day, they just wanted a cool looking snake and they were willing to pay for it. So, really great experience yesterday. That is Ed and Emily's show. They do a great job. So thank you to everybody that I met. If you're watching the show for the first time because we met yesterday and you decided to check out my socials, thanks very much. Welcome to the show. This coming Sunday, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I don't know, we got a 3-day weekend. People will be hanging out on Sunday night a little longer than usual. I'm going to do a Palm Street auction. I got some inventory that is fine inventory. There's nothing wrong with the inventory. The only problem is I've got clutches that are, you know how it goes this time of year. So clutches are coming. Inventory needs to go. I don't have another in-person show for about 3 weeks. Don't want to sit on it. Plus, it's a long weekend. What are we going to do to entertain ourselves? Let's do a Palm Street auction on Sunday night. Keep an eye out for that. I will get details out on that Wednesday. And then just on a personal note, I will be peppering your Instagram tomorrow with pictures of moving into the car wash. It is happening. There's 36 of y'all here. I just looked down at the screen. Maybe I need to move to Monday nights. Either that or Adrian's got to come back more often. That's killer, guys. Nice job. Thank you for being here. I'll get Adrian on in just a second. Tomorrow is move-in day at the car wash at the new facility. The rodents go in tomorrow. Reptiles probably another 2-3 weeks. I've got to figure out the floor drain situation, and there's a whole sheetrock dust situation as well. I got the ASF side cleared out. I need to get them in and get them expanded. So pretty pumped to get moving in. Sorry that I've missed all the comments, and now there's 40 of you here. I'll catch up on the comments on the replay. I can't engage the camera and stare here. So look, we got Adrian on the show tonight. Hoverter, I got it down. Adrian Hoverter is the name. I've met Adrian before, but I'm actually more familiar with him from the shows. One thing I like, there's probably a lot of things I like about Adrian, but I don't know him very well. But one thing that I like is that he pushes back sometimes on me, and then I push back on him, and then we either figure out what each other's trying to say, which is really cool because this day and age, it's really hard to have decent conversations with people. Let's be honest. So that's really cool. And the times that we disagree, we don't think the other one's, an evil idiot, which is also really hard to do these times. And I've always enjoyed that. And I don't think I've ever told Adrian that. So he gets to hear it awkwardly in the third person while he's sitting in the green room. But that always sticks with me about Adrian. So I don't know, maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I got an email out of the blue. And he told me about what he's got going on. And I'm not going to, I'll let him tell his story. I'm not going to take that from him. But it really struck me. And I just said, you know what? Let's do it. He's supported me and Proper Royals for a long time. It's a situation that's close to my heart. It's an honest situation that happens in our community and in the world. And he said he'd love to come tell his story. And I said, you know what? Let's make this happen. So please, for the very first time, welcome from Adrian's Captive Creations, Adrian Hoverter, to the Proper Royals stage. Adrian, glad you're here, man.
Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure. I wish it was a little bit different topic and circumstances, but kudos to you for sticking up your, sticking your shoulders back and your chin up and saying, let's just have at it. And that takes a lot to do. So let's get to it. What are you facing? I'd want to get into your backstory, but what are you facing right now? What's the situation? What's the urgent scenario?
So I was a couple of months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer. Then it changed to 4, and now we're back to 3 again, maybe. It's it was quite a shock. I'll be honest. I'm still a little off put by it. It's just it's a shocking thing to hear. 48 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
how did you come about finding out? Was it a standard screening that you went to from? So I'm 45, you're 48. There's a time in our lives where we're advised that we should go get some particular screenings that I think most men are probably not interested in getting right away, and maybe we delay them. Of course, I'm talking colonoscopies, colorectal scans. Was it one of those? What was the situation?
First of all, 45, you need to get in there. That's the new number.
Okay.
I'll be bugging you about that.
I'll spare you the details. I did have one at 42, but it is time for the next round. Yes, sir. Good. And by the way, yes, please do bug me for it.
I will.
Okay.
I've been bugging my friends. So last summer, August, I had a bleeding event. It had sent me to the ER. There I was. They did a CT scan that came back clear. That will come back to be important. They gave me a referral for colonoscopy. Of course, I didn't want to get it. I came home, woke up the next day and had COVID.
Okay.
Tested positive for COVID. Of course, Googling symptoms, and one of the symptoms is bleeding.
From COVID.
From COVID. That's one
really
of the,
okay. Yeah.
Weird symptoms, but it happens. The bleeding went away. I got better from the COVID, and I put off going. Pretty foolish thing to do. So then right before Thanksgiving, it happened again.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah.
So I use that referral and I get the colonoscopy. It took till March to actually get in. There's a waiting list. And then when I was there, they found a tumor in my rectum and 11 precancerous polyps in my colon. So if I would have put that off longer, there wouldn't have been much to do. I would think another 6 months, a year.
So what do they tell you at that time? Obviously, they say the striking word, which is cancer. Right. And I'm sure they talk about treatment and options. Now, you just made a point of saying if you hadn't paid attention then, there would be nothing to do. So it sounds like there's some optimism, and I'm always scared, frankly, to ask this question. But what's the outlook? So stage 3 and stage 4 is that's pretty significant stuff, man.
So that CT scan from before came into play here. So there's a thing called a tumor board, where the doctors get together and they discuss what the tumor is, the lymph nodes around it, and they determine what stage you're in. So there was a disagreement on the board. So my surgeon called me before the board and told me it was stage 4. That's a terrible call to get.
Yes, sir.
That is, you're always going to have cancer. This will kill you at some point. That's basically what he told me. Might be 2 years, might be 4 years, might be less than a year. This is serious stuff. The tumor board met, and a couple of the doctors saw my old scan, and they saw what the surgeon thought was metastasized cancer, which is when it moves. They saw the lymph nodes in my sphincter, We're going to use lots of words that aren't fun to use.
Yeah, no, and you know what?
Um,
Just but for any families or anything watching, this is the real stuff. And part of the
yeah,
problem, especially among men, is we don't talk about this stuff. And guess what's on the rise across, across cultures, across, across the world. And so speak freely, my friend, is what I'm saying.
yeah, absolutely. So they saw those in the old scan, and the old scan didn't show the tumor. A CT scan isn't really good at showing tumors unless they're big. So they said, well, hold on, that he might just have weird lymph nodes there. And then my oncologist, the blood work came back, and there's a thing called a CEA. It's a measures the level of inflammatory cancer in your blood, and colorectal cancer is one that it's very good at showing. And I was well below 20. I was at 8.8. And 20 is metastasized cancer, and it can go all the way into the thousands.
Okay.
Like, really
Yeah.
high.
You check your numbers, right? Yeah.
Right. So between those two things, they were like, hold on, this might actually not be stage 4. So right now we're treating for a cure. I'm in chemo. I'll be in radiation unless I get really great results from those two. They call that, I forget what they call that, but when chemo actually cures it, I'll have surgery and I'll have a permanent bag.
Yeah.
That where the tumor is it's the end of the road. There is no reattaching. Like if it's in your colon, they can take part of your colon out, kind of reattach it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not an option for me. If surgery happens, it'll be a permanent colostomy bag.
As insensitive as it sounds, I don't mean it to be insensitive.
No.
If that's the end success, just probably feel that you're I would feel like screw that bag. I don't give me all the bag you want. Just let me be here.
Yeah, the one doctor was like, you could live 40 years with a bag. Just it's okay. And I'm
Right.
like, you put it like that, you know what?
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff I want to do. I can
hook it
I can
up.
have a
Yeah.
bag.
That's right. You could
So,
scare all the neighborhood kids for the next 40 years or whatever you do with it,
exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
So
Yeah. I
so
hope I hope it's okay that I make light. I spent 15 years of my life thinking that it was the last time I would see my mom, and I got to see her for 15 years. So I got
yeah,
to I learned a lesson, which was basically tell the people you care about things that tell them you care about them, but also if it's going to brighten their day and if it's reality, then it's okay. We can talk about that. So anyway, that's a little bit of my scenario. Anyhow,
right.
so you've been doing, and I'm sorry, I still to this day mix up the two. You've been doing chemotherapy or radiation or both?
Chemotherapy now. They decided to do that first because they were concerned with how big the tumor was, how aggressive the tumor was. Radiation will come after.
Okay. How you feeling?
So you have about a week where you're really tired. You have about 2 days that I'm just done. I'm on the couch getting into the showers. That's the day.
Yeah.
After that, I can get some work done. I can basically I can work for a little while and then I have to sit down for a little while. As far as symptoms like nausea and stuff, I'm controlling pretty well with medication. Controlling pretty well with some gummies. I'm not really a pot guy anymore. I used to be. I'm cutting them in half. I don't really want to get high, but it helps me sleep. It helps with the nausea.
Good.
So far I've
To
been
be honest, of all the
responding
things,
well.
to be honest, of all the things you could take or cope with, and honest, I also, again, I'll relate things back to my mom, but I wish that sort of option or legal option had been available when she was just constant drugs that and it would
Yeah.
fix one thing and then it would screw up another thing. So, okay, it calms the nausea, but then you constipate it for 3 days. You just go shoot, man, what are we treating here? What's getting better here?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the nausea medication that definitely has that kind of stuff that happens. So I try to avoid that and try to do the gummies.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been doing pretty well with it so far. So far, so good. I told you I had the heartburn today. Apparently, that's a side effect. I've never had heartburn like that before. I thought I was having a heart attack. I really did.
You'd mentioned in the green. I was going to ask you what you ate, but I didn't realize it was a side effect of the chemo.
Yep. And I've been getting itchy palms. It's a weird side
Oh
effect.
yeah,
Itchy legs, just itchy everywhere.
yeah,
Starting to lose a little hair. I'm gonna have to shave my head. I've had a
yeah.
ponytail for 30 years.
Oh man.
I think I'm gonna have to shave my head. But besides that, I seem to be responding pretty well to it. I feel like I'm strong. I'm eating. I haven't lost weight.
Okay.
So
So the firm diagnosis was Thanksgiving time, you said, December-ish?
The diagnosis didn't happen till March when the colonoscopy actually happened. It took me a couple of months to get in, more than a couple of months.
Wow. So you're at this 2 months getting your head around it right now.
Yep. This is pretty new. I'm at my fourth chemo treatment will be coming up here on Wednesday. So.
Wow. So it's too early to even measure any progress or to see how things are going, or is it?
Actually, the last one, they do blood work every time. My CEA that we talked about that was 8.8 is 3.4 now. So
wow,
yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah, that's good news. Going down, they tell you to watch more than the numbers is the trend. Is it going down? Is it going up?
Yeah.
But like someone without cancer is under 2, usually 1 something.
Yeah.
So I was stoked to hear that. I was giving goosebumps to the doctors when I heard that.
I bet you were. Yeah. I mean, the whole situation aside, I bet you were walking on sunshine that day for at least a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My mom, I mean, it's like, yeah, we're doing pretty well here. I'll get my first scan after probably 7 chemo treatments, and then we're going to see if those lymph nodes in the sphincter go down.
Yeah.
We don't want them to. We want them to stay the same. Then they're just weird. I just have odd lymph nodes. We want the tumor and the lymph nodes around the tumor to shrink and those to stay the same.
Okay.
That would be the best case scenario.
Yeah. And I know you just told me, I lost track of when do you get that? You said after 7 or 8 treatments. So another
7 or 8 treatments. Yeah. So
you got
about
another 2 months to go. Yeah. Halfway yet.
Yeah.
And again, if any of this is insensitive, just let me know. But what happens with work? What happens with family life? What happens with what are some of those things that you've gone through?
Well, I'm I'm lucky for a number of reasons, but snakes is full time for me, so I could kind of make my own hours. I could work for 2 hours or an hour, and I can take a nap, and then I can start working again.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. My wife helps. She always has. Since I went full time, she kind of was only helping at shows. Now she's picking back up to where she was before. And then I got some incredible friends.
Good.
I'll get a little. Yeah, my friend Vernon Kitchen Jr. Immediately stepped up because I didn't know how I was gonna sell the animals. I thought I could take care of them, but to do shows and stuff, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'll do your shows for you. I'll under your, he's doing shows with my t-shirt on, my banners, selling my snakes and not taking anything for it.
Yeah. Who's it? Say this name again.
His name is Vernon Kitchen Jr. from Genetics Lab Reptiles. And if you want to support me, buy his snakes, please. I don't know where I would be without him. I've got other friends that are helping me, but he just immediately stepped up like that. And I'm still getting emotional and talking.
Yeah. Right.
So, and he's going to get a lot of really nice snakes this year.
Right.
Or not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him money and he's like, I don't need money. And I'm like shoving it at him. Like, just take a little bit.
Right.
So, and his son's been helping me too. He's been coming over and helping me with some of the snake work on my bad week. And it's going to increase because I'm going to have I might have 700-800 hatchlings this year.
Whew.
Yeah, like they were all pretty much bred, but by the time I figured this out, there was really no stopping it. So
Guys, do me a favor. Go give Genetics Lab Reptiles a follow anywhere you can.
absolutely.
All the support that you can. Vernon, thanks, man. It's pretty cool to hear. There's that saying, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And that struck me, where you were like, yeah, I'll just give them everything. You can make all the snakes again. You can make all the money again. You just need an opportunity to get better and get the time back. And that's it really struck me how real that is. We can, it's amazing what we can figure out, because we always think that everything is just such a by the way, guys, we're going to figure out something cool to do with all the super chats tonight. I'll do what I did on with the Harbin's scholarship fund last week. You know, I'll figure out the YouTube fees, but everything that lands here, we'll do something cool with. Adrian, you and I can figure this out. Whether it's putting together a nice package for Vernon, or doing something, you know, maybe you need a steak dinner when they give you the green light, or whatever it is, man, we'll make it work. But anything that goes in the pot, we'll make sure that the YouTube portion is covered, and that all the money gets somewhere cool tonight. So keep that going. We'll figure out what that looks like. To get a little bit personal, what happens with insurance or medical care, you know, like, and I'll just use myself. I know us guys were stubborn, like, all that stuff sounds like it costs money. I don't want to go to the doctor. Even the copay is expensive, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm a man. I'm fine. I'm good, blah, blah, blah. How's all that worked?
My wife has wonderful insurance. She works for a company called UCP. She works with adults with disabilities. That's such a blessing. Like, we're getting real close to the co-pays, and then the rest of it's good for the year.
Yeah, the out of pocket.
Yeah, the co-pays are not bad compared to some plans that I've been on. They're not bad at all. Like, and yeah, I can't. I actually have a friend who doesn't have insurance, has the same thing, and I mean, just the chemo's $50,000.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. One thing I unfortunately learned was, short of like billionaire status, it literally doesn't matter how much money you have. You can't afford it out of pocket. And I hope that that's changed. I hope it's getting better. I hope that you know, that people do, all politics aside, there is a marketplace where you can get insurance. It's not great, but it's better than being bankrupt and that sort of thing. I'm not saying you or to your friend. I'm saying just in daily lives, that scenario is better than what I saw my mother go through. And how's the, I mean, bedside manners aside, what are the doctors telling you? What are they? I mean, these doctors are pretty tough. They know how to deliver hard news. Like, what are they telling you?
As far as
just yourself, just what's your outlook? What do you got to do? What do you have to look forward to?
Well, chemo is different for everyone. You really don't know until it's happening. And then it changes. Like my second treatment, I got a fever when I came home, and I've never felt like that in my life. It was like I was like hungover and fever, like my bones hurt, like it was awful.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the next treatment, I'm fine. It didn't bother me at all. I was just tired.
Yeah.
So the doctors they've been happy with my progress. Basically, you're not losing weight. Your blood count, you know, your red and your white cells are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and you seem to be tolerating. That's the whole thing. You just got to be able to tolerate, because the medicine is almost worse than the disease. It crushes some people, and some people walk through it and it doesn't even bother.
Yeah. Yeah. Forget where I was gonna head to. Shoot, I got thrown off. I got distracted there.
It's all right.
Okay, let's go to, you said 700-800 hatchlings.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to circle back to, oh, I know what I was going to ask you, and it's a tough question. What do you think is the root cause? Did you just draw an unlucky card? Did you ever do stuff that you're like, oh, that was dumb, now I shouldn't have done it? I mean, and I don't mean, I'm not saying it to make you feel bad. I'm saying it because maybe there's somebody out there, doing it, and hey,
Right.
here's the reality. That's why I'm asking.
Well, yeah, I was no angel growing up. Went through a period of time, drank way too much, smoked cigarettes and stuff, a little bit of drugs, nothing major. Those are contributing factors. A lot of this is just luck of the draw. And I mean, 1 in 3 people get cancer in the United States. Like 1 in 3. Like look around your house. Like 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Like it just happens. And it's just, and this kind of cancer, the symptoms are so subtle. I mean, obviously with me as the bleeding, but if you have colon cancer, you might not bleed. You might not have any pain. You'll have bathroom changes. Like I looking back, I was going to the bathroom a lot more than I normally would. But when it's happening, especially working at home, I didn't really notice it until I got the diagnosis like maybe a month before that. I really started to notice some issues, like just difference of frequency and consistency. And
I see.
You could really start to tell then. I kind of had an idea that something was going on. But this colorectal cancer has doubled since '95 in people under 50.
Yeah,
it's becoming a young person's disease.
So there's 2 parts that I've heard, is that's the one of them, which is striking, because for all our lives we think, oh, under 50, that means you're pretty old. Now I'm 45. I'm like, that's not that far, man. I got things to do, man. I can't be held up by that. And I know there's people watching that are beyond that. And like you say, you're at 48. The other thing I've heard, and I don't know this, I think it's a fact, but who knows this day and age where I read it, but I heard that almost all men at some point, if you live long enough, you're going to get colon cancer. It's just a matter of to what degree and at what point in life. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to kill or change anybody's life, right. But these polyps are very, very common. And unfortunately, getting more common with younger men in particular. I don't know. I've looked into it some, but I know that women can have this as well. So I mean, it's kind of shocking to see how common it is. And again, us guys are just stubborn. I don't know about most of the guys watching or even your history, Adrian, but I mean, honestly, I think I've been to a doctor once in the past 15 years for a checkup, and I never went and did the blood work I was supposed to do. Like
exactly the same.
Yeah,
I'm exactly the same way. No, I don't need a doctor. I'm fine.
Yeah.
You're not. Especially just you got to get the colonoscopy. That's how they catch it. They catch those polyps. They just cut them right out. Like if I would have been there a year and a half earlier,
right?
I just cut a polyp out.
Yeah.
What about my business? Like it's just that simple and that serious. Like just go and get it done.
It's amazing how many things are, just the way you put it, that's simple to begin with and then become something so I mean, even outside of health, there's things that way, but especially with health. Like, it's amazing how simple the root of it is. Thanks for sharing with us. We can circle back at any point in the conversation tonight to anything that you want to share. You mentioned your wife earlier. If you don't mind, what's her name? Cricket. There's a beauty in spouses, both when people, like you said, you're doing snakes full time. I have to assume that took a hell of a lot of support from Cricket along the way, not to mention what you're facing now. And so the spouses of, everybody's going through something, but but when there's somebody by your side, it's a really beautiful thing. And sometimes it's a good thing we go through when we're setting out on these voyages to make this a career and a job. And other times it's these brutal things, so anyhow, big shout out to her. I can only imagine the strength that she provides for you, man.
I don't know where I'd be without her. I really don't.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. All right, let's talk some fun stuff. What are these 700 or 800 hatchlings? What are you breeding? What are you doing? Tell us about your business. This didn't just happen. 700 or 800 doesn't just happen. I don't care how much money you have. That doesn't just happen overnight. So what do you got going on, man? I want to learn about this.
Okay. So no, definitely not overnight. I did the slow grind. First clutch in 2011. I didn't have a snake until 2005. And now I breed all kinds of snakes, mostly hognose. That's what most people know me for.
Okay.
That's probably 60% of my collection. And then I started with corn snakes, so I still do those. I enjoy corn snakes. They're not a lot of money in them, but I enjoy them. So I got maybe 10 pairings of those, and I got some random. I got Florida Kings. I got Cali Kings. I got Honduran milk snakes, African file snakes, tricolor hognoses. Getting into house snakes.
Okay.
Ball pythons. I do ball pythons.
I was gonna say, where are the ball pythons here, man?
I do ball pythons. This is gonna be my best year for ball pythons. I usually get 50% girls go, maybe 60. I'm looking at 90% of the girls.
Oh,
just
fun.
keep ovulating. I pulled up like, well, I got 3 more ovulating.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. So I have 6 in the incubator. I have 3 just ovulated, and I got 3 more that are probably gonna go.
Yeah.
So that's a lot for me. I usually do like 6 clutches of ball pythons.
Well, and that's a lot of other stuff you have going too. What's
yeah.
what's your the word facility is overused, but what's your snake space? Is it there at the house? Is it a separate place? What's the deal?
I've taken over the entire house pretty much. So I have a downstairs what would have been a study, and that's most of my adult room. That's where my hognose are, ball pythons, the African like the file snakes, the house snakes, stuff that they're all about the same temperature in there. And then upstairs I have what I call my hatchling room, which obviously has all the hatchlings, and then I also have my corn snakes up there because I ran out of room in the adult room. I got a loft where I do all my shipping. I've got rats and mice in the basements, and I've got brumation down in the basement as well. So I've got racks down in the basement to get used in the wintertime.
How many different like ambient zones? I mean, because or do the snakes pretty much need the same stuff? Obviously, the brumation's a different story for animals that need that. But what about the other living spaces across those species?
So yeah, like the hognose and ball pythons, I keep them in like grow out racks. I keep them in the same rack. It's the same temperature.
Okay. Yeah.
So they work out really well. And then, like I said, the African file snakes and your African house snakes are about that same temperature. I keep them a little bit cooler. I keep their hot spot a little slightly cooler than a ball python. So that works out. I did that on purpose. If you're going to do multiple species, you need to think about it.
Right. Yeah.
That needs 70 degrees and something that needs 90 degrees in the same room. It's just logistically it won't work.
Well, and even setting up different rooms at those different temperatures gets expensive. That's a lot of capital expenditure that you're putting in to get back on snakes. Yeah,
absolutely.
What about like feeding routines, substrates, and a lot of what I'm leading to is what about the person, Vernon or anybody else or your wife that's helping care for these? Like, it's hard enough keeping track of one species of what they need. Now you've got a few of them across the board here.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. Right now, I don't have a lot of for sale stuff, so it's mostly the adults, and I can pretty much keep after those. We've started doing a clip system and writing stuff down to try to get people, because you're gonna have multiple people in the room. Like it's usually just me. Like it's
Right.
just me. I got my own system. I have a clip. It says nothing. I know what it means.
Yeah. Right.
And my wife's like, that's not going to work with me. I don't know what that means. So we're working on the clip systems and writing stuff down and trying to get it so it's a little bit easier for everyone else. I think a lot of it is going to be me, like sitting in a chair in there and just kind of directing when there's like there literally could be 800 this year. Everything's going this year.
Man,
I think that's how it's going to be. I think I'm going to be sitting in a chair, kind of just. It's just okay. I'm going to go lay down for a while. You guys got this, because a lot of it's just manual work. You know, you just got to fill up water dishes and that kind of stuff. And
yeah, you can not that you need problems in your life solved by Adam in his basement right now. You've been at this way longer than me. With ChatGPT, you can have it basically record what you say. You can set a saying or and I could show you a control to turn on your microphone, and then just let it run. And then at the end of the day, say, make notes of everything, of all the important topics, and then write standard operating procedures for each species that came up. And then you can do that each day. And then like at the end of the week, you could tell it, go back. All right, review the past 7 days and consolidate it all into one notebook of how stuff is done. So all the like notebooks of the past and training manuals are just like, boom, you can just do it right away. If that's even remotely helpful, the last thing you need is a lecture from anybody. But if that's even remotely helpful, I'm happy to help out with that. But that's something that I do now. And actually, I've incorporated that into my hospitality management, or not management, consulting business that I've run, where, you know, the client says, hey, we've got just what you're saying. We got 30 people coming through the doors. We're a seasonal operation. We need to get them trained as fast as possible. And a lot of them have never worked in this field before.
Right.
Okay, here's the interview. Let's start talking. And it all goes on a transcript. And then basically it's the same process we just talked about.
I like that. Cricket, you'll be talking to Cricket, not me.
That's cool.
So tech illiterate. Everything's notes and cards and in my head. I've got a little bit of a Rain Man thing going on with these snakes.
Yeah.
But like I know my collection. Like I know what's going on. I don't even really need, even note cards sometimes. Like I know this girl's off. That one's just ovulated.
Of course. Yeah.
And when you got other people going in your room, it's a little worrying.
Yeah, it takes a little trust. Yeah. You're not gonna have a choice but to let go. And you're likely going to need help, is what I'm saying. Is the thing. And so it's a good option, but whatever it is, the root of it absolutely is you're just going to have to trust and have good people around you, and however you get it, those systems and processes. But you know what? After all this, you might be able to say, man, now I know how I can take vacations. Here's the book. You better not screw it up. I got cameras on you. We're going to Tahiti for 2 weeks or whatever, So maybe that's a silver lining at the end of it all.
Nobody ever talks about that. There's no vacation. There's no vacations. It's so hard to get away.
I talked to, I don't know if this was a private conversation or not, so I won't say the name, but I talked to somebody at Tinley and they were like, we're getting out of ball pythons. We'll do some other stuff. And I was like, and it's like an iconic person, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? And he's like, Adam, I just want to go somewhere for 2 weeks with my wife. And he's like, I'm 65. I've done it. I've made the money. I've done it. I just want to go places. We'll keep some snakes. He goes, but you know what? I want to brumate those things and I'll come back when I come back. And I'm like, that sounds pretty nice. And it's something I've thought about where I have a bit of a control freak aspect to my personality. And I've really thought hard of going, I've got to start now with people that I could trust and having them in my operation, because my son's 13. I'm going to want to go, I don't want his time to pass me by because I'm worried about ball pythons. I want to be able to go do family outings. So that stuff plays into my mind a lot in my planning right now. And I don't have an answer for it. It's not like I have extra money to hire more people, but it's something I think about of working into the plan.
Yeah, I often say I don't own a business. I own my job because I can't leave.
Right.
I can't leave. I do everything. So yeah, but I enjoy it. It's been a dream.
Right.
15 years in making. So
how long have you been at Hognoses? Of course, those are pretty hip and popular right now. I think we would all say, but maybe not. I think I would say in large part to snake discovery. But it sounds like you've been at the Hognoses quite a bit longer than maybe they've been influential in that species. Is that true or not?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got my first pair. Let me think. When did I get my first pair? Was it Hamburg? It was 2014, 15.
Okay.
I had actually read an article in Reptiles magazine. I don't remember who wrote it, but they were talking about all the new morphs and all the new combos, and they were like, Hognoses are going to be the new ball python. And I'm reading this, and I'm thinking, I want to start breeding. I want to eventually make this at least a side hustle. And I'm like, everybody's doing ball pythons.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple of these, and I got them, and I absolutely love them.
Oh, cool.
They're adorable. They got all sorts of personality. They're huffing, they're puffing, and I just ran with it.
Where did you get the knowledge to learn how to breed them? Because that's a whole different world than ball pythons and their behavior towards each other and eating each other and fishing the male out of being eaten. Like I don't even think I want to go down the road of dealing with that.
First of all, that doesn't happen very often at all. I've had one female, two females, grab a male and start chewing, and I've just pulled them right back out. You just watch them for a little bit. Most of the time, I was
going to say it doesn't happen though because you watch them. You're doing the right way, right?
Yeah. What I do personally is I have too many to watch all of them forever. So, but I'll carefully put them in and make sure I start to see the twitchy. They start to twitch, and it's like them saying, "Hey, I'm a hognose. You're a hognose. Well, let's not eat each other. Let's be friends." Once you start seeing that, you're usually fine. Usually, there are times that something might happen later on. So, and then I'll just leave them paired, and you kind of got just got to trust it. You can't watch like I have 2 sets of females of 20 females. I can't sit there all day long just watching.
Right. Yeah. And then what about their eggs? I've heard if you don't get their eggs fast enough, they'll eat their eggs too.
That does happen. That happens more often than I'd like. So again, you're just you're hoping for the best. When I was working also, I would pull eggs in the morning. If they were halfway done, I would pull eggs out because I didn't want to leave them all day. And then you just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. You'll find girls that start eating eggs, they're egg eaters, and you really got to watch them.
Oh, okay. All right.
How
do these things ever survive in the wild? They eat their spouse, then they eat the vehicle for their offspring.
Right.
What good? Seriously though, are they like migratory? Do they move? How does Mother Nature make this happen for them?
So they're going to lay and leave in the wild. I think it's more the egg eating. I think it's more of a thing of captivity. I don't know that.
Oh, sure. Interesting. Okay,
that's always been my thought on that. As far as eating the males, they're omnivores. They'll eat anything.
Yeah,
anything they can get down their gullet, they're gonna take. They'll even eat carrion. Like you'll find them on the road eating a squished frog.
Yeah.
They'll eat obviously mice. They'll eat toads. They're eating anything. So a snake is certainly on the menu.
Yeah.
And these females get ravenous when you're breeding them. I mean, they come out full open mouth, just charging. They'll start chewing on the side of the tub. They'll chew on them tongs. They'll chew on you.
Huh.
They're absolutely ravenous breeding.
So what are you seeing in the market? It's always like a popular discussion of, the ball forever. The ball python market sucks. Yeah. It's just, but everybody, all of us are doing it. So apparently it's okay. But what do you see across other markets? It seems like Hognoses aside, it seems like most snakes, and maybe boas aside, but it seems like most snakes are a really, really niche market. Do you find that as a benefit, or do you find that as a difficulty? Like, it seems on the surface that it'd be less people interested, but maybe if there's less people doing it, there's less competition. How do you see that across species?
So across species, there it is a niche. I kind of built my business in being in all the niches,
Yeah.
or trying to be in all the niches. So you have your corn snake people, and they're not hognose people, and you have your king snake people, and they might be corn snake people, but they probably aren't hognose, and none of them
Right.
like ball pythons, you know. Um, that's kind of like my business philosophy. It was just try to hit all the niches that you can. I grew one species at a time. I didn't jump into this. I didn't go out and spend a whole bunch of money. I just bought a couple of snakes, bred them, held them back. As far as the market for hognoses, it's still strong. There's definitely more people breeding them now than there was even just a few years ago. You can see it on Morph Market. You can see it at the shows.
Right.
They're popular. They have a pretty high price point, and people are flocking to that. There's still a good market for like normals, like, and when a snake with the morphs, people still want the normals and still pay a decent amount for them. You have a
Yeah.
pretty strong market.
Yeah. That's a pretty good barometer. That's a good way to put it.
So that market's doing very well. Corn snakes is just steady Eddie. It's just been the same for as long as I've been doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. Some people like them, and they'll buy them, and you're not going to make a ton off of them, but I always sell out. So I kind of like the corn snakes that way because it's mostly pet buyers,
Right.
and it's just refreshing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get tired of the breed. Like
Exactly.
And I'm one,
Yeah.
but it's refreshing that people just want a snake because they want a snake.
Yeah. No, I actually do know what you mean. There's my joke at Tinley is if I hear the word, het morph combo odds one more time, it's het morph combo odds, het. Oh, I'm like, get away, all of you. I need an hour and a half where I don't hear any of those words. I'll be back.
Absolutely. And king snakes are the same too. They've been the same for 30 years. Like the California king snake's been $100 for forever.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's what it is.
What about on like I wouldn't say new, but even less common. I think you talked about the file snakes or African house snakes. I know that African house snakes are getting a little bit of momentum in the past like 2 years. I've heard them pop up. I don't know. And I don't even like, how do you worry about like introducing people or introducing a market or trying to build the market for this snake? Or is it just people hear that you have them and the ones that want them will find you, or how does that work?
A little bit of both. I've done some YouTube with the file snakes where I kind of explain this stuff, and I still get emails from that one video that was years ago. It's definitely a niche thing for the file snakes. They are awesome snakes, by the way. They're probably my favorite snake to like just get out and handle it. They're just different. They're cool. They're moving around. They're decent sized snake. As far as like the house snakes, they're like you said, I think they're on the up and up, and they're fun as well. And they stay small. I like snakes that stay small.
Yeah,
I think it's important. I don't think many people can handle it. Some people can't even handle the size of a ball python. Like,
right.
People don't have a lot of room there in an apartment or something. They're a little scared of snakes. A male house snake can be maybe 18 inches, probably. I don't know, 60, 80 grams. Like it's a small little snake.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little snake. Like,
right. It is much more feasible. And especially when I hear, I mean, it's this now an exaggeration, but when people talk about getting retics or berms, I'm like, like the percentage of people that can actually handle that or handle multiples of those is so minute. And the work involved is just it's overwhelming. I'm not suggesting that they're outlawed or harshly regulated, But I do think there's some self-regulation that can come from communication within the community where we go, dude, just think that through. That's all I'm saying when before you jump into that is my thought on that. Anyhow.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I don't know how those guys make money. There's so much food, there's so much space, everything's big. It's just
from the food to the poo, everything is big. To the shed. Yeah. What do you do with the talk about freaking out the neighbors? Like, what do you don't want them to see that shed?
Right. Yeah, I don't get that. And I think they're cool. They're great snakes, the giant stuff. It's awesome to look at, but I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just keep getting smaller.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I mean, it is feasible, or it's more feasible smaller, and it's more feasible with the equipment, the enclosures, the parents that have to approve the kid getting it, that's excited about it. It's an easier way to build an industry. I think. I think that's a good point on that.
Absolutely.
It's the top of the hour. I got to pay a couple bills. Don't go anywhere, audience. I want to learn about selling. You're doing this full time. You're cooking up 700 or 800 hatchlings this year. One of two things is true. Either you got a plan and you know what you're doing, or you're going to have to figure it out fast and you got something cooking up there. So I want to, whichever it is, I want to hear about that. That's what we'll get to in just a second. Audience, if you didn't hear at the beginning of the show, if you ever watch it on replay, all Google, YouTube ads have been turned off. I heard that the experience was getting hurt. It was getting interrupted. It interrupts the flow of the show, all of that. So now Proper Royals is brought to you just YouTube, Google ad free by these folks that are within our industry, supporting our community. So hear me out for 2 minutes. How about it, huh? Redline Shipping is who I ship with. I think you guys know that. Bam. The reason being, I love their customer service and their hands-on approach. Some other people choose to have a hands-off approach when it comes to customer service, and that's okay. But why I choose Redline is for their customer service before the shipment, during the shipment, after the shipment, also the supplies, the knowledge, the temperature. It was 92 degrees in Minneapolis last Sunday. Today was a high of 47 for me. It's a weird time of year, and shipping can be difficult with those temperatures. Redline team's there to help you with it. That's just one example. So use the promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off your next shipping label at Redline Shipping. Shedtesting.com from Charlie Williams. He is the person testing it. He's the person doing the research on the shed test. He's the person you talk to when you shoot shedtesting.com a message on Instagram and have questions about how it all works. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you could take your ball python shed. You can test it for over 32 genes, and I think it's closer to 40 right now. You pay a fee for the test. Charlie tests it with DNA testing, and he tells you if your snake has a particular gene or not. VPI, Xanthic, Wookiee, Sunset, Clown, Puzzle, Ultramel, Zebra, all the yellow belly complex, and most recently released Lace, Monarch, and Hurricane tests as well. So go check out Charlie at shedtesting.com. If you use the promo code PROPER15, you're going to get yourself 15% off of 2 orders. You could do 2 orders, and in each order, you can order as many individual tests as you want. So stockpile your sheds, buy the shed tests, get yourself 15% off, and then do it again. How about that? Portuguese Pythons is Danny and Renee Rocha out in Chino, California. I love working with them. I can't wait to meet them in person. I've been saying that for 2 years now. I am going to go out to the Pomona show one of these days and go hang out with them. In the meantime, check out their morph market. Their work that they're doing in Ultramel with dark codoms is phenomenal. It's outstanding. And they're working in double and triple combos and ingredients. All of my Ultramel pied ingredients have come from Portuguese Pythons. So they're working Ultramel and Puzzle, Ultramel and Clown, Ultramel and Pied, Hypo Ghost, as well as True Ghost projects. And ingredients for all of those are on their morph market right now. Fantastic animals available. Go check those out. Trevor is Ball Labs in Aurora, Colorado. Sorry, I got something giving me all kinds of notifications on my phone here. Let me start that over again. Ball Labs is Trevor from Aurora, Colorado. He likes to work with any genes that he can get his hands on. He says his goal is to be the man with 100 different genes. He will work any kind of ball python that he can get his hands on, but he's also working puzzle, ultramel clown, VPI Xanthic, tri-stripe, monsoon, zebra, and sunset. He's also a licensed rodent breeder in Colorado, which takes a special inspection and approval, of course, authorization. He's doing that the right way. I don't think somebody does one thing the right way and drops the ball in the other areas. So go check out Trevor. Great dude. Just got to hang out with him out in Colorado at the AARP show. He vends all of those. So you can catch him on Instagram, Morph Market, all the usual places. Reagan Renee, Royal Pythons. That is Charlie Ryan, the currently defending undefeated 15 Minutes of Lame champion, one of the brightest minds in the industry, super analytical chemist by trade, highly trained specialization, and that carries over to his ball pythons as well. He's working Krypton, DG, G-Stripe, Candy, Pied, and Clown projects, and single, double, and triples. You could see his episode from 2 weeks back. If you go watch the replay, it'll be ad-free because of contributions from people like him, the supporting advertisers here. Last but not least is Chris at BNS Reptilia. Chris is the original advertising supporter of Proper Royals, continuing. Our relationship has grown. He's now my business partner at Tinley, and we've got a couple animal investments that we've made together as well. Chris at BNS Reptilia is Reptilia because he's working with ball pythons, blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, Pituophis, if that means anything to you, the bull snakes and the pine snakes. Chris will guide you on where you're allowed to own any of these snakes that you'd like to own, any certifications, inspections you'll need to have. And he is also the regional distributor of the chipper in Pennsylvania. If you're interested in selling the chipper yourself, get in touch with Chris. He can help get you set up in your own region. Thank you to all of the advertisers. I appreciate it. You have far exceeded any value that YouTube ads bring to me. So those are gone. And of course, the audience, 43 of you here on a Monday night on a special occasion. I appreciate it. Sorry, the schedule got mixed up on account of myself this week. So I can't be here tomorrow night. Got a little family outing. And tonight we're talking with Adrian from Adrian's Captive Creations. We've gone through his cancer diagnosis. We've gone through what that means with day-to-day work and life. By the way, let me say it again, Adrian's Captive Creations. We're going to find out where he's selling, what platforms he's selling on, and how he's going to move these animals this year. So thanks for bearing with me on that, Adrian. So where do you find the most sales success? And I guess, what's this cancer diagnosis going to do to that? How does that change? So two-part question. Where do you usually see the most sales success?
So last year, basically I'm selling on Morph Market and I'm selling it at shows. I'm a big show guy. I was signed up for 30 shows this year. We dropped a couple of them that were too far away.
Sure.
Yeah, like it sounds like a lot of hatchlings. Last year I had over 500. So it's not nothing that I'm not used to. So go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, let's talk about the shows, because some people love shows, I being one of them. Excuse me, I'm with you. I'll do 26 this year. And honestly, if I go 3-4 weeks without doing one, I get antsy. I'm like, where's the next show? I got to get out there. And I feel like I'm not doing enough, and you probably can maybe even speak on this, but I'm sure you can relate to it. When you have your own business and there's not another day job to go to, I often feel like if I'm not working at it every waking second, I feel like I'm dropping the ball or missing an opportunity or not doing my part in the house. Like almost like there's a weird guilt that I'm not going to some salary job every day. And so it's almost like, and that's in my head, by the way. I don't know if that's not the case in my home. But I do feel that responsibility. So I get this antsiness but I had to tell myself this year, I just looked, I was like, these shows are consistently terrible performers. They cost you money. They're a waste of your time, Adam. You're going to do better not doing anything and spending time with your family and being at home and all of that sort of thing. So
Sure.
I love the shows. What do you like about them? What's the connection? What's the value proposition that you feel that it brings?
I do well at shows.
Yeah.
I like them. I just did my first one in a while this past weekend. Like, because Vernon's been doing them, and I fell on a non-chemo week, and I could finally do one. And
Oh, cool.
It was wonderful. We did okay. It's a
Yeah.
tough time of year. I don't have a lot of inventory, but we did okay. But I love talking to the people. I love talking snakes. I love seeing all the other vendors. You know, you just start to make friends with these people because you every weekend you're seeing them. And we do well. And again, it goes back to that diversity. Like a typical show for me, I might sell 2 or 3 corn snakes, a king snake, 2 ball pythons, 4 4 hognoses. I'll sell some pet rats. I do pet rats too, like
Okay.
hairless rats and stuff like that. And you add that up at the end of the day, and that was as much as I made in a month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I do know.
after a while, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I going to work to make a few $100s? I just made a few thousand at a show. It's like, so that has always been part of the plan. And Burton stepping up, helping me do that will be tremendous. I actually worry a little bit about online sales because I won't be able to respond as fast sometimes. That's very important. With Morph Market, you've got to get back to them almost immediately, or you lose sales.
Yeah, they're just squirrels. It's just or dogs looking at squirrels. Yeah, gone.
Yep, absolutely. But like I ship every week, basically every week that the weather is.
Yeah,
it's usually 4, 5, 6 boxes. They're very good friends with the with the FedEx
with
people.
the FedEx people. Now, do you do how would you say you get your word out there? Do you just let Morph Market do its thing, and then you're doing the shows, so you're getting the in person? Do you do like how active are you on Instagram? Do you ever do any paid ads, those sort of things? Where's your sweet spot on that stuff?
I'm horrible with the social media. I've been doing this long enough that I not to toot my own horn or anything, but I have a little bit of a reputation. I take care of people.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong with your animal, I'm going to take care of it. You're not out. I'll walk you through getting it back together, and if something really bad happens, I'll just replace it. I don't know who said this. It's not my saying, but a good reputation will follow you. A bad reputation will beat you there.
Yeah.
That's all this business is, because everyone has the same stuff.
It's true. There's nothing proprietary about what any of us are doing.
Exactly. So you gotta take care of your people, and they just keep coming back. There's a bunch of them in their audience right now. They support me. They buy their snakes from me. They're calling me, making sure I'm okay now.
Yeah.
So as far as social media, I'm almost never on Instagram. I do a business page on Facebook where I do have some followers and I post stuff. Mostly I'm online with the Morph Market. I got a bunch of reviews. I've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
Snake Discovery, even I sold them some snakes last year. I got a review from them. I was so proud of that.
Oh, excellent, man! Nice work.
That has continued to give me sales. So I don't really have trouble selling snakes. I love what I do, and people pick up on that, and I do a whole shitload of stuff of shows.
There's so much value in like, we overthink stuff. We always want to look for an angle. I talk about it. How do you differentiate? What are you going to find the one angle to get ahead? But really the core of it is just what you're saying. Just be the person that cares and gives a damn, maybe a little bit more than the next person, and who's genuine about it. It's amazing how, and it doesn't even matter what industry. I mean, I found that in food. I find it in music. I find it, that's universal. And really at the end of the day, that's what people need to do. And I think what happens is people get either so unhappy or burn out or whatever else synonym goes with that it becomes a labor to do that. And that's when I stepped out of restaurants. When I felt that, when I was like, I'm faking it, man. I'm faking my way through this. My performance is going to suffer. I don't like it anymore. I'm not passionate about it. I said, this is a dead end for me. I can't function that way. And that's really where I ended up putting the pedal down with this but I knew I had to do something different because I wasn't going to do well at work. I was going to be unhappy at home. I was going to be, less of a father and a husband and all of that. And I was like, that's a losing. And so anyway, what I'm saying is really refreshing to hear you're just like, just do good things for people and do it right and put your business name attached to it. Like that's such a good way to look at it.
Do it for a decade. You'd be surprised what happens. Like I said, I started real slow, a couple of clutches. Like this was not something that just happened overnight. Like 2 clutches, 4 clutches, 6 clutches, and just build it up.
Yeah.
And you start to build up a reputation and a following, and you can't microwave this. You can't do this fast. I really can't.
That's true too.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You can put up much money as you want to in this, but you need to put the time in. That's
the
only way it's going to work.
I think I agree with you. I haven't been at it long enough to say with such confidence that you have, but I will tell you confidently, that's what I believe. There's just, you can't rush Mother Nature. You can't rush a reputation. You can't rush building a following and the relationships in any given area. You can't rush word of mouth. I'm finding it with, thankfully I'm lucky, but I'm finding it with ASFs locally. I don't advertise. I've never advertised a bit for ASFs. I can't fill the orders that people find me somehow with it. So, but again, it can't be rushed. So, I hate to ask this because, I don't know. People have different feelings about it. What do you need? What can we do for you? I know I'm thousands of miles away and I can't just come over and clean. But maybe there's somebody who can, or maybe we can, I don't know. What do you find? Or maybe right now it's nothing. What do you think you will need? Like,
I struggle with that. People ask that all the time. I have a friend. He's not even in the snake business. He's doing my rats. He's helping me with the rats. So far, I've been able to do it every other week. It's probably going to change. I have a feeling because chemo tends to be cumulative. It tends to, every time you get a treatment, you get a little worse. And then I got Vernon and his son. So, and I got another friend, Mike, who's mowing my lawn for me, on my chemo weeks. I mean, that's just such a blessing. What you can really do is you can get your damn colonoscopy.
Okay, fair enough.
You could buy snakes off of Vernon, or you could buy snakes off of me. That I appreciate that. Besides that, I mean, I think we got stuff covered. Maybe I'm a little too optimistic.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I've got people calling me all the time. What do you need? What can I do for you? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm okay right now. And that's all you can really be when you're going through this is today. I'm okay today.
All right. I say this a lot. I have no idea what it is that I have to offer, but if there's something I have to offer that can be of help, please let me know. And I mean that. And there's been people that have helped me. Some of the most painful times in my life were also the most beautiful when I saw the people that came to help my mother and help me. And even it sounds cheesy to say, but even at the time I was working for the PGA Tour, they never wanted to know when I was coming back. They never threatened my job. I just told them I'll be back when I can get back, and they let me come back. And so the beauty that is out there in some of the hurtful times is really amazing. Anyway, there it stands. If I can ever be of help, please let me know. All right, guys, we got to do, and I say guys specifically as the men, we got to get weird. We need to like all post when we get our colonoscopies. We got to I don't mean to make light of it. I do want to make some fun with it, but the reality is it's legitimate. And the longer it's kept abnormal to speak about or to think about, if you missed it earlier, Adrian, what did you say? You said if a polyp is found, you just cut the thing off and you go on with your life, right?
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah.
I'm sure it's a little more invasive than that, but
no, it's in the colonoscopy. They go in there and they just snare it. They just pull it out and then they biopsy it and they tell you if it was cancerous or not. Like if it's just a polyp, it's nothing. You just it's gone. And and once they cut that out, you won't get another one there. Like if you have a lot, they'll want you to do colonoscopies more often, so they can catch them, so they can just snare them and just pull them out. I had 11 in there, just snared them all out. They're all gone. So just it's that simple.
and it's listen, it's less invasive. Every year they're figuring out ways for it to be less and less invasive. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what's more invasive is cancer. So right, like, come on, guys, like that's the reality of it. We got to grow up. Let's get out there so that there's less and less of these interviews. Adrian, will you keep us updated, man? And I know that could be painful. We don't know what the updates look like sometimes, but I hope you will.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
You'll hear from me for sure.
I would normally save this part of the conversation for the green room, but I think maybe everybody knows somebody that's going through something, whether it's me, I know we don't know each other very well, but if things get heavy, if you just need somebody to blow steam off to, if you have a rough day, if things get tough at home or at work or heavy or whatever, you know how to get a hold of me, and I promise I'll answer the phone. And
I appreciate that.
I do mean that. And anyway, go get after that thing. It sounds like you're in good spirits and your numbers are going the right way and you're not losing weight, and you might lose a ponytail in the deal, but maybe you get it back one day too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right,
I would like to say one thing quick.
Please.
Like I said, 1 in 3 people will get cancer in their lifetime. Currently, there is a colorectal trial that is on hold because politicians think that there's money to be saved. We need to, if your politician thinks cancer research is a waste of money, then we need to find new politicians. I don't want to get political, but there's literally a trial right now that could save my life, and there's people that are in stage 4 dying, and they can't have that trial because of a couple bucks, and it's bullshit. It's what it is. I just wanted to say that, and I appreciate the opportunity to say that.
Thanks, Adrian. I couldn't agree with you more, and I won't go too far down that rabbit hole.
No, I don't want to either, but sometimes you just need to say something.
Yeah. And, well, we'll leave it there. I have lots of thoughts, but it's probably not the place for it. I agree with you. My very best to you. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for being so forthright and transparent. And thanks. I'll leave it there.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course. Keep us posted, man.
Will do.
All right.